Everybody ready for the doom?
Doom us. Yay! We are back with Broken Phone. Brandon, Jeff, Paul, Emmy, Mal, Chaz, Hayley, Alex, Dan, and myself. And the theme is there ain't no themes.
We don't do themes here.
We don't do themes, but I will announce that every episode. Who goes first?
It's Dan.
Great. Sorry, I was drinking something.
Great!
You sounded so mad at us.
No. I was just drinking.
My delicious book.
All right. Y'all ready for some great fan fiction? All right.
No.
Oh boy.
It's gonna
Okay,
take a
good.
turn.
With a hand hovering his blaster, Han Solo walked into the cantina, scanned the place, noticed Chewie at a booth in the back, and sat down next to him. As he sat down on the whoopee cushion, Han's face went bright red, and an anime sweat drop appeared on his head. Chewie had won this round. Thank you, Paul. Are you boys done messing around? We have a... Oh, hold on.
No,
That's famous C-3PO.
That's what C-3PO sounds like.
All right.
Sounds like Arthur
this-
Morgan.
Okay, boy. Are you boys done messing around? We have a job to do, screamed C-3PO.
New voice box.
He started it, Han screamed back, pointing at Chewie. Han pulled the fart device out and threw it aside. I don't care who started it. Started it?
Oh,
I don't care who started it, C-3PO hissed. You're gonna have to be the one to end it. Be the bigger man, Han. Getting things done was impossible with 6-year-old Han and Chewie.
I mean, that's what it read to me.
Fine. Han whined, snot dripping from his stuffed nose. Han and Chewie shook hands, hugged, and got back to business. Challenging the rest of the first grade class to a contest of seeing who could shoot first under a desk. Young Han slouched menacingly behind the desk while young Chewie looked on menacingly, intimidating any challengers.
very menacing.
Without warning, the announcer yelled, "We have a winner!" Young Han and young Chewie were shocked. Who won? But they hadn't even noticed it was over. Behind them, squeakily laughing. Hee. Midna giggled. Oh boy, I wasn't kidding about the fan fiction. Bet you're wondering how I got here. Han and Chewie looked at each other, then back to her. I need your help, she said, remarkably seriously. Great. My doggy has gone missing, and I think you know where to find him, Midna exclaimed. Oh.
I like yours better.
Okay. Chewie said. Han nodded. Yeah, I agree.
Right, there's 6.
You couldn't have known that was Link, Chewie. Han, what is happening? What? I'm so confused.
The doggy is Link because that's the game Midna is from.
Yeah, I know, but okay, whatever. You couldn't have known that was Link, Chewie. Han turned to the floating shadow child and looked her in the eyes. Chewbacca definitely ate your dog, dude. Sorry. Shrug.
Get a shrug emoji.
Wait, emojis work?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, man.
Text. Yeah, Tina code.
Oh my god.
The start of a whole new era where we turn broken phone back into broken picture.
Well, that was certainly
good fanfic.
a good fanfic. Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, everybody.
Our next one's from Steven.
Ever since I was a young boy, I've played the silver ball, but no longer. You see, pinball silver is the only medal that the city of Chicago would accept to make the bean. And they snapped up all of them to make that cursed sculpture.
Love this song.
I cursed Big Windy. I had all these flippers.
Jesus!
And nothing to flip. Unless, in the greatest of ironies, could the bean itself be flipped?
Jesus Christ.
A Herculean task, but now my only desire. I spun my flippers with enough might to rival the bean goddess herself. After hours and hours of torment, my will still could not be broken. Finally, the bean was flipped.
Oh, no.
For the crowd gathered around me, it was strange enough to see a dolphin spinning around madly in downtown Chicago, but when I flipped the bean over, they were truly flabbergasted.
Oh.
Little did they know that the bean was the entrance to a dolphin prison. I was on a mission to break my family out of Chicago and back to the ocean where we belonged. Thank God I grew these fucking appendages. I drove a stolen minivan through the front gate. I was going to rescue my dolphin family one way or another. Grabbing the rocket launcher, I aimed it at the employee's only door and used my flipper to pull the trigger. Whoosh bang! The rocket hit! I climbed through the debris and called for my family. We schooled past the battlements, echolocating our way through the darkness. Timmy was feeling ill. Shit, he needs air, but we're 10,000 feet under. We may have been dolphins, but we weren't about to let Timmy die without porpoise. We had to win this man o' war.
Porpoise?
Wonderful.
Wow.
Purpose?
Wow.
Well,
Hanger.
you can't say purpose and porpoise without trying to combine the two words.
You can just say porpoise.
Multiple
Just say
good sea
porpoise.
creature puns at the end there. I like it.
Porpoise? Question
Good job.
That was wild. We went on an adventure.
Past the battlements. Wow.
It's the
So
bean.
much,
Alex,
so
you
much
got it.
bean.
Yeah. I turned it into a dolphin, but I did, yeah.
Well,
I did correctly identify the bean.
Oh,
Good work.
goodness.
a little bit of...
Very aggressive reading.
I've lost a couple decibels of sensitivity in my hearing permanently.
Well, I mean, how
I was
else
like
you
cowering
supposed?
in my chair.
You gotta do the dolphin voice.
You sure did.
Okay.
That's what a
Definitely
dolphin
did it.
sounds like, Chaz.
There's a couple new Twitch alerts coming in there.
I know that they don't have dolphins in Indiana, but we got them here, and that's what they sound like.
All right, it's Alex's turn.
Rad Hardbottom was a man of principle. Ever since the cyberpocalypse, shady people wanted his services desperately. But he didn't want their cyber bucks. He knew who he worked for. The director wouldn't take kindly to Rad picking up side jobs.
Let it ring, Rad.
Rad looked at his cyber phone. A new job. Rad, I need you to get down to the cyber waffle. Robo Cynthia will fill you in when you get there. Rad closed the text, got on his cyber bike. Time to ride. I'm so glad. Wow, this is not a lot to work with for person number 5. I'm so glad Waffle House branched out into cyber cafes, Rad thought.
Goodbye, Robo Cynthia.
And everything else. Because after the Great Divide, only one thing remained constant. Waffle House. And not only did they do cyber cafes, as Rad found, they did everything.
Jeff, you brought it back. You really brought the same attitude back.
The cyberpocalypse is the Great Divide.
It's a great divide.
Waffle House had expanded into virtually every business. Hover cars, plumbing, real estate. The future was Waffle House. Rad was taken aback. Whoa, dude. Rad knew there was only one thing to do. run for election as United Nations Waffle House manager. His memories of ancestral Waffle House era would make him a top candidate. Victory was close, and the bazaar was ahead. His campaign song was Special Lady at the Waffle House. If I'm elected to be the United Nations Waffle House manager, I'll bring us back to the golden age. On exit polling, 538 predicted a sweeping victory. We're saved. The next day, though, uncertainty emerged. Who would hash the browns? Who would feed the stoners at 3 a.m.? In an unprecedented turn of events, they learned to feed themselves. Through extensive WikiHow and YouTube research, the stoners learned how to meal prep. Happily ever after.
I couldn't fit they lived happily ever after.
Hilda covers it.
Wow.
I'm gonna pour one out for Robo Cynthia.
Yeah.
Taken from us before her time.
I was listening to this whole book and I was like, I must have had the last page because I have no idea what my entry was. At page 8, I was like, I don't know which book this was.
It changed fast.
Oof.
Thank you, Alex. Hayley.
I stumbled out of the wreckage of my ship, injured but alive. All I had was what I managed to pull out of the flames, a first aid kit, some water, and a really cool laser gun. Behind me, the impulse thrusters exploded, showering the crater with debris. Suddenly, the cool laser gun extended an umbrella to shield me. What sort of techno-wizardry was this? I stood stunned for a moment as debris harmlessly fell around me. Suddenly, a space bear! Instinctively, I ducked down behind a rock, but when I peered out, he was just staring at me through his visor, red eyes shining through a glossy black void on his face. I stood stock still, not knowing what to expect from a space bear. Debris rained. This is so serious. No laughs.
To set the stage here.
Space bear.
Is this a side story to Rad?
This is
another Rad adventure?
This is
Cyber bear.
This is whatever her name is that we've already forgotten.
Cynthia! Robo Cynthia!
Robo Cynthia.
This is her story.
She
Her
needed
story.
Red for this. Yeah, man. All right, let's see where this goes. I had to get some space honey and fast. I looked around. We weren't in space. Shit. Space bears need space honey. I started running, dodging debris, and the space bear followed. Time to call it a favor with Elon Musk, I thought, pulling up my phone.
Oh.
Hey, dude, I gotta get to space. Yeah, for honey again. Those damn bears. Elon sighed.
Oh.
This is the last time I'm doing this shit, Jared, said Musk. Time to take care of your bear problem permanently. Grimes, get the NFT picture.
Oh,
Let's
God.
go. To the moon. I'm done.
Yeah, that's a book end, actually.
Please, Brandon, come on. I couldn't pass up the pun.
Don't worry.
I know.
Musk, Elon Musk,
Did we say that?
Proud of
Thomas
you, but no.
didn't write?
I hate this book
wonderful.
so much.
I tried to save it. Just keep going.
This is wonderful.
It's fine.
They're divorced.
It's fine.
That's a proper piece.
It gets addressed.
Were they married in the first place? I can't keep
It
track.
gets addressed. It gets addressed.
All right.
Fill in those plot
Yes.
holes.
All right, let's go.
Grimes looked surprised. No, we've been divorced for months. Suddenly, the roof caved in and everyone died. Just then, halfway around the world, an adorable baby mouse was born.
There's the fridge.
Halfway around the world.
I didn't like where I was going, so I fixed it.
I was like, why haven't I recognized any of this book yet? There it is.
All right, we're almost done. We could do this together. His parents were so proud. The mouse... what?
Mousekowitzes?
Moskowitz.
The Mousekowitzes named him Fievel. He was the cutest English Big King mouse anyone did ever see. He grew up in West.
Nice.
Oh my god!
I got
The end.
Oh my
great.
goodness.
He grew up and went west.
You didn't say you went faster this time, Steven. It's true.
He grew up and went
So
west
that's
was the
why
last.
Steven started laughing.
That
like
was that was the last thing I wrote in this game, and I was like, "Yeah, it's great."
This really was good till book 5, and then it kind of went off the deep end.
Debris rained for a good 4 pages there.
There was a lot of debris.
It went back into
And then
fell out of space and went back.
I brought
to
the
space.
debris back. Funnily enough,
True.
roof debris played a major role.
The roof
Everyone
of the
died.
planet
Alright.
caved in.
I am
Oh,
up.
goodness.
Good luck.
The noise of the subway train rushing by reverberated in the darkness. Dylan waited, counting silently. It was finally time. Decades of planning led to this very moment. Dylan pulled a strange device out of his jacket and jumped onto the empty tracks. That was the last train of the night, and no one patrolled this line after dark. Unperturbed, Dylan slowly worked out the trachometer 3500X up and down the South Chicago line, careful to avoid the cursed third rail.
A lot of Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the other side of the Bean story? Is he
Oh my
going
God,
to the
so much
jail?
duality.
Suddenly, the third rail curled up like a snake and struck, despite Dylan's efforts to conduct the trachometer 3500X without rhythm. The train crumpled in its constricting grip.
Oh, the train's back.
Oh, so that's why you're not supposed to pee on the third rail, I realized.
Christ.
That train never stood a chance. The
Oh,
urine had lubricated the track. The train took on a breathtaking speed. And on that day, a rival to the famous Japanese bullet train was discovered. It was patented by Professor Whiz Tinkle, who dubbed the creation a high P train.
Oh, come on.
The urine-soaked tracks were all over the U.S.
God.
Japan's tracks were dry and couldn't compete.
That's my favorite thing I've ever written, by the way.
Oh my god.
There was only one problem with the P train. The track design allowed trains to reach upwards of 800 miles an hour, but they required constant relubrication. And the dining cars only served waffles.
Oh my
9
god.
out of 10.
The last page of the book.
Mallory,
Jesus Christ.
Mallory,
We missed the last
What
station.
happened?
there, I think.
That is a hard close
Wow.
of the fridge.
Wow. So
Mallory.
strong. So strong.
You didn't even look in the fridge. It was just closed.
So Dan had to get one more page of this book with nothing but waffles to go on. So let's see what he wrote. So syrup, milk, cheese. What else am I forgetting? Oh yeah, toilet paper for all the shitting I'm going to be doing.
Oh my god.
God, I love being lactose intolerant. The end.
Well, this
Wow.
was
Strong.
This was
So
certainly,
strong, Mal.
Oh, I
certainly
like that.
scatological out of 10.
so Mal,
Oh,
was
what?
that just you didn't realize that you weren't on the last
I
page?
had the last page.
Okay.
I hit send, and I saw it go to Dan, and I'm like, oh.
Oh no.
Poor Dan working with waffles and waffles alone.
Man, based by the start of a couple of these books, I think like all of us collectively really, really desperately want to write a sci-fi together.
Sounds like we need to play sci-fi D&D.
Al, you're up.
They're forecasting 24 inches of snow overnight. Frank put his drink down. Margaret, I can't drive in 2 feet of snow. You know those kids need to get to school. Well, she said, what do you want me to do about it? I don't know, can't you call someone? Frank searched around the room. On the kitchen table, he spotted the classifieds. That's it, Frank exclaimed. I'll call every company on this goddamn town. Surely someone will eventually be able to teach me to ollie on this fucking skateboard.
Skateboard.
Bring hi, Aaron's Pizza. This is Frank. Frank, the code
What?
word is Ramalama Ding Dong. Frank went silent for a moment, then spoke. Okay, I'll teach you how to ollie. Bring cash. Click.
Oh no. Oh no.
Frank hung his head after the accident that killed his wife.
no!
He vowed
God.
to never skateboard again, but the caller somehow knew his wife's secret phrase. He had to meet this person.
Goodbye, Margaret.
I think,
Bring cash?
I think his wife was alive in panel 2. She died
Don't worry
quick.
about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Frank arrived at a dark alley. A figure emerged. It was Frank's wife, Linda.
Never mind.
Linda, you're alive. Yes, and I can shred. Can you? Linda threw Frank a skateboard. He smiled. Frank could not, in fact, shred. Nowhere close. But in that moment of reunion, he dropped the skateboard to the ground, stepped on it with uncertain balance, and shoved off with vigor. In fact, far too much vigor. Frank's board and Frank were launched into the azure sky. They didn't care. They were finally together again. Frank's tears froze to his mustache. Frank jolted awake in his bed. Alice.
Number 3.
People can have multiple wives.
Secret families.
God.
Alice, his wife, confused but supportive, asked him what was wrong. You're never going to believe the dream I just had, laughed Frank. The end.
Alice is the true wife.
True wife. Oh, God.
Margaret, I'm going out.
It's lore.
Going out to meet Linda.
Lore.
I really appreciated the detail of Aaron's pizza being the first thing in the phone book.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
My favorite part about this is Frank stayed consistent throughout
Yeah.
every single page.
I think
As soon as I saw Alex's phrase, I was like, oh, damn, I know what book this is. And I know I had the last entry.
I think we flipped back and forth between Frank, like, needing to know how to skateboard and being a good skateboarder, like, a few times.
It's fine. Dreams are like that, you know.
It's true.
Exactly.
I mean, you can know how to skateboard and just skateboard badly, but anyway.
Emmy.
Martha started her day like any other. After the 4th cup of coffee, something peculiar happened. Out from under the fridge, a rune-laced piece of parchment slid. Martha was miffed. She had chores to do. Trudy was gossiping about her yesterday, so there was no time for nonsense. Yet she couldn't look away from the runes on the paper. Batsu, Manos, what in tarnation? Martha spat at the paper. The rune suddenly pulsed a deep onyx hue. It was most unbecoming, Martha thought. Sort of thing Trudy would like. Martha, in her pearl clutching, didn't realize the power of the paper to manifest what was written on it. The paper shuddered as demonic creatures and horrible movies flooded out. Oh. The demons were horrifying, and they were trying to sell us movies? They were all on DVD? Well, this is Martha's problem now. I left her in there and bolted the door behind.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. It was Trudy there the whole time.
Are we Trudy now?
Don't worry about it.
Whew, you know, Martha was a real chatty Cathy. It was always Lucifer this and Belphegor that. You know what? Who needs Martha? You do, Jack.
Oh, it's
I
Jack.
looked up, horrified. Martha stood in front of me, vibrant and radiant. You were finally gone! She rolled her eyes. You think a little something like that would do me in, Jack? I stared at my feet, sheepishly. But if it didn't kill you, then that must mean you're immortal, Martha. She flashed a winning smile. Vampire teeth gleamed in the moonlight. Damn. A vampire. I should have known. Okay, Martha, you win. Come take a bite. I secretly readied my last-ditch plan as she approached. Good, your blood gonna be yum. Just as she was about to bite, I jammed a pointy stick into her fucking heart. Sorry, Martha. You're just not my blood type. The end.
That was an excellent reading, Emmy.
Thank you.
Damn.
Yeah, it was very weird getting the prompt "it." A vampire.
In a vampire. I should have known.
It's a vampire.
This is my favorite Jim Steinman song.
Man, I really had potential that I didn't use with Chatty Cathy, because I was also a doll, and my mom still has one, and it's a very scary creature.
Oh.
Paul, you're up.
The pre-movie trivia screen started up on the screen. Who was the actor who got his big break working at a haberdashery for dogs? I knew I couldn't rest until I found out. But where would one even begin finding a haberdashery anymore, much less one for dogs? To figure out where our mystery star got his start, I could only guess at two places, Los Angeles or New York City. New York was clearly out. This was a West Coast canine head covering, no doubt. I narrowed the suspect list down. Next step, checking out a 1994 TV guide.
Which everybody brings to the movies.
Oh, yeah.
But where would I find a TV guide from 28 years ago? The killer was about to get away when I remembered exactly where to find such an item. The killer figured it was safe to leave cryptic clues about episodes of Melrose Place from 1994. But he didn't know I was a writer on that show, and I had every TV guide from 1994.
Where am I going to find? Oh, wait, I have one.
Jane's Australian love interest shares a name with my next victim, the next clue, obviously referring to episode 4, season 3, Grand Delusions. I knew it. Chris is the next victim.
Obviously, it's Chris.
Not Chris.
I had to warn Chris. I mean, I wasn't doing much anyway. Also, he was the next victim. Ring. Ring. Chris, get somewhere safe. You're being hunted by the obscure TV show serial killer.
Making a phone call during a movie. Jesus Christ.
I know.
He's gonna die.
It's a movie.
Do we indirectly answer the question of who the actor was somewhere in here? Is it Chris?
It's Chris.
It's Chris. Unfortunately, Chris did not heed my words and was brutally slaughtered. Anyway, Taco Bell had some new menu options, so I decided to try them.
I had no idea what to do with that.
Normally, I love Taco Bell, but the food turned to ash in my mouth. I wish Chris was here to share it with me. I decided to build a new Chris. A better Chris. A Chris you could have and hold in sickness and in health, for better or worse, for richer or poorer. I do, Chris, I do. Just as long as we obliterate that cursed Taco Bell.
Man.
Thank you for this noise.
It's cursed with the accent.
Normally I love Taco Bell, but the food did turn to ash in my mouth. 2 out of 5 on Yelp.
It's a phrase.
Oh, God.
I'm happy that everybody enjoyed mine.
It was great.
What
Also,
do you
shout
do
out.
with you're being hunted by the obscure TV show serial killer?
Yeah.
I had none of that context.
Alex
like,
picked Melrose Place, the show I didn't even know the plot for, and I'm like, well, what happened in '94?
Good research. You came up with accurate. I'm looking at IMDb right now. Very accurate Melrose Place information.
Oh crap! Is Alex the killer?
What a mystery.
Wow.
oh man.
Next up is Jeff.
Saturday. Any night is a good night for burritos, but there's something especially satisfying about a burrito on a Saturday. Chipotle beckons. I swung my wing blades around north and focused on the light of the Chipotle below. The squeak of leather rigging met the rushing of air as visions of carnitas played before my eye.
What the hell?
Wow.
Out of all the bird Chewbaccas on planet Taylor, I was the most elite bird Chewbacca warrior. I flapped my wings one last time as the ground neared. I would eat that Chipotle. Oh, this is an interesting term.
Okay, Alex, did you write this after my book entry, or what did you?
No, I wrote this for. I googled wing blades, and it came up with a Wikipedia article about the weapons
Wikipedia?
associated with the bird people from Star Wars, which is apparently a thing. But I figured
Google wing blades. I just made that up.
I saw
Alex and Mal
bird
are
people
doing
from
research.
Star Wars, and I was like, okay, well, that obviously Chaz was referencing the bird people from Star Wars.
I want to see where this goes.
We went from eating a burrito to eating the entire Chipotle.
Yeah, we've taken a turn for macro fiction. Sean, it's me. Great, I thought. It's Tony coming to steal the Chipotle again. I inhaled sharply and bellowed, letting out the fiercest. I'm sorry, as written, it's Phi Crest.
Yes, I know.
And avion, which is Spanish for airplane.
I inhaled sharply and bellowed, letting out the fiercest avian Chewbacca call in all of Taylor. Tony, everyone here is tired of you stealing the burritos. Nobody likes you. The room fell to silence. Wow, Sean, I guess that's how all of you feel?
Wait, so that Chewbacca stuff was important? I thought that was just like flavor text.
Yeah, okay, this
It's
is
fine.
good.
We don't need it.
Tony worriedly rubbed his hands together. I'm not sure how he stuttered. I'm just gonna go. And thus began his journey of solidarity. From there, he joined the Air Force and became an astronaut at NASA, becoming Major Anthony Nelson.
Did you think this was also the last page?
Everyone looked up to him.
I only had
Major
Tony.
Anthony Nelson. Here are the people they called him. It wasn't enough. Nothing could fill the void within him, and he could feel it growing.
Is that the guy from I Dream of Jeannie?
He never really paid attention to the commercial, so he didn't avoid the Noid. Instead, he'd annoyed the void. Now the world would pay for his carelessness.
Oh, that's really great.
That's really wonderful. The Noid confronted him. Boy, you surely fucked everything up this time. Carl raised his revolver. Not necessarily. About time the Noid was destroyed. Bang. Oh, I did. All right, well, that completely fell apart.
No one even got a burrito.
Where'd the burrito? Well, Tony stole them.
I don't.
They quickly disappeared.
It was shaping up really well, and then, I don't know. Something happened. There we go.
They all
Domino's,
read like dreams.
Domino's made it back in, though, or made it in, period. So we did keep the food theme somewhere in there.
It's a great time to let our audience know that this entire episode is just a Domino's ad. Domino's. We're good.
Yep.
Is that the slogan?
That's
Yeah,
been
that was
for
the
McDonald's
years.
theme.
Hashtag sponsored, not endorsed.
Our final book for the evening is by Brandon.
Jessica, listen, I pleaded. As passionate as you are about S-Corp tax policy, you really got to stop bringing it up around Todd. He's getting pretty aggressive. Fine, she sighed. It's important that I get through to him. You know the IRS is going to go after Todd. I put my head in my hands. Jessica, he's 91. What could they even do? But Jessica knew what they could do to a man like Todd. The IRS didn't care if you were a nonagerian. They were going to offer him an affordable payment plan, or worse. But Jessica couldn't give two fucks about Todd. His mind was like a jar of mayo left out there in the car during the summer, brown and squishy. She called the IRS. So what if he was 93?
Oh,
Yeah,
2 years.
And arrested Todd Howard. Well, this is the guy who made Skyrim 3. I love that one, Jessica sighed. Just get this old man out of here. The IRS hauled Todd away. With Todd gone, the video game industry flourished. New games were made, old titles stayed old titles, and none were ported to your fridge. The new hottest AAA game was called, ironically, Fridge Quest. Some sort of romance game about anthropomorphic vegetables and closing doors. Sounded kind of silly, to be honest.
There's the bazaar.
And rather than plumb depths of such a silly game, our hero shut the door on Fridge Quest, setting it back on the shelf and walking out of player's choice. We'll never know more. since Cold Games LLC was shut down by the FBI, the source code deleted, and the last known copy sealed inside Roland's secret vault. And the last person who asked about it, he was also sealed inside the vault. The end.
Guys, Roland's gonna get on your case for putting this out on the internet. This is a secret.
It's sealed in the vault too.
Roland has
This video is sealed in the vault.
the last known copy of Fridge Quest.
I thought about a lot of things, and I'm like, nah, just shut him in the vault.
Man.
The vault,
I got mine, and I was like, I don't think the
vault
IRS
seals all.
I don't think the IRS hauls people away.
Thank you all for
We
coming.
went from affordable payment plan to hauling him away.
It's one or the other with the IRS.
Or worse, affordable payment plan or worse.
Thank you all
Good work, everyone.
for joining in on this wild adventure. I feel like the books are getting more complex the more episodes of Broken Phone we do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what happened with the drawings, right?
Yeah.
That is true.
Man, what if we all had to write a paragraph instead? At least 3 sentences.
I would do it.
Next time, let's do we're the character limit 1, just a single emoji. And then we have to act it out on camera.
Oh, I'm out.
You have to act
pantomime.
all of them out.
There we go. Then there's only one video source.
Yeah.
Oh, God. We will be back at some point in the future with more Broken Phone. If you have a good idea for a theme, let us know.
We don't use themes on this.
I know, but, just let us know. You never know.
Tell us your broken picture phone themes.
So
We
can
might do
ignore
it. You don't know.
If it's
I do.
I was thinking about it, and, everything that I do could be done on one computer.
Wow. That's so insightful. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was possible.
You could run everything through OBS and make, a single video file with multi-track.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway,
Amazing.
the way that we're doing it is working, so there's no reason to change.
Uh-huh.
Is Chaz crying?
Because you just don't want to run into an issue where, you do something and you're like, oh my God, it broke because we didn't do it the tried and true standard way.
Then we'd have to make another video and play fun games with friends again, and we can't do that.
Well, you can't capture the magic of Alex saying turnip bumpkins, once he said it.
That's his catchphrase.
Y'all all a bunch of turnip bumpkins.
I mean,
video is catching lightning in a bottle with Alex's turnip bumpkins.
in
I'm
fairness,
sorry, that's funny every single time.
in fairness, if I were to tell you that someone in our group had said the phrase turnip bumpkins, who would you guess first?
I didn't fall off the
Hayley,
turnip truck
because
yesterday. It's
turnip's
been
an animal.
over a week.
This is a good bit. I want this to stay.
I'm not that kind of bumpkin. I'm a turnip bumpkin, y'all.
Where'd you come from, turnip bumpkin?
That's my comic catchphrase.
How's the frost out on the turnips?
What?
Dan, keep this in.
Maybe not.
I don't know how many people in the regular audience know the song Country Bumpkin. It might be 3. That might be generous.
If you're included,
Are you saying Country Bumpkin is too highbrow for the audience?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay.
It's generally better when, the video gets to the point of the content and doesn't have 3 minutes of weird rambling.
Dan just takes
beforehand.
everything that's weird before we start and puts it at the end.
Yeah, it's a stinger.